Welcome to the Ask Domnat show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. The fastest 30 minutes of your day to make you an overall more informed person. My name is Dominique Pereira, but you might know me as Ask Domnat. And oh God, I missed you guys. I missed you guys. I actually when I'm not doing the show, I'm thinking about doing the show. I have an affinity to be with you guys. It has become part of my routine. So when I don't get a chance to do that routine, it's like the gym heads. I'm just like I feel icky. So thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to be here. And welcome to the show. Let's get into it, guys. It's March 30th. Is it the last day of the month? How many days does March have? It's one of those. Is it a 30-month day or a 31-month day? I think it's 31 months. So not the last day of the month quite yet, but it is March 30th. Mr. Fireball, bon dia, diva. Bro, I hope you're feeling better. Mr. Fireball 619 was not feeling too well this weekend. So well wishes to you. March 30th rundown. U.S.-Iran war update, 31 days into it. Bloodbath is not like it's literally a bloodbath. Then we're going to do some housing market updates. If you're into the real estate housing market, got some news for you. Let's figure out if this is a good time. Is it a buyer's market, seller's market? I'll give you the rundown there. And then we got some updates on the farm. Oh God, this farm, it's going to be the death of me. It's going to be the life of me. It's going to be, I may never benefit from this farm. I mean, this farm may be my kids' like dynasty that they'll benefit from and never know how much energy it took from me. But we got something really cool. Matter of fact, I hate to do it with the farm. Aaron, throw on slide. Just the last image. You know what I'm talking about. There. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Okay, did you guys see that? We got something really cool for the farm. We got some major updates. If you're not watching, watch it again in 5, 4, 3, right there. Okay, we got some cool stuff happening with the farm. All right, so let's get into, but you got to stay for the end there. There's going to be just a quick little update. Day 31 of the U.S.-Iran war. Okay, guys, we just have some. Let me bring up some. Just throw on my screen here. Okay. So what I'm going to do for you guys is there is a lot of updates. There's a lot of updates. And the reality is it's too many things happening too often. Israel strikes, kills Lebanese soldiers. Now, that's something that you got to know, that Lebanon, remember when they're talking about Hezbollah's in Lebanon. Welcome. Who else is joining on? I see a couple of y'all joining on from Twitter. Welcome. Tell me where you guys are coming in from. We got a Discord group. Welcome from Discord. So Lebanon being attacked, but remember, Lebanon is like a really small country. There, I think, like 1.9 million people, not very big. Israel's 9 million people. So technically, by comparison, Lebanon is closer in size to Israel than Israel is to Iran. So, I guess you can punch above your weight. But let me tell you guys just some quick run updates, right? Like, let me see what I can do. Okay. So the U.S., let's Google this as we go, right? I lied to you guys. How old do you think I am? I'm 46. I'm 47 years old. I am 47 years old, I'm sorry, 43. I am 43 years old, guys. People don't know that. People always say, "Oh, Dom, I thought you were 36. I thought you were 36." No, I'm 40. Okay. Why is that important? Well, you look at this article. I'm just going to go, for those who don't know, Army raises maximum enlistment age from 35 to 42. Whoa, okay. If you didn't think there was a war going on, they're like, oh no, before, well, welcome from Twitch. You guys are from Twitch as well. You Twitchers. But yeah, Army raises enlistment age from 35 to 42. So if I was 36 before, I was safe. I was out. I mean, whatever. I was available in my first 35 years. I'm not available in 36. If I was 36, but I'm not. I'm 43. So if you thought you were out the age gate grab, they're back in. They're calling you in. I don't know. Y'all might I might want to start changing your profiles to your right ages of 43. If you are 43 years old, you may not be able to be enlisted. Um, do with that what you may. Okay, so that's I'm not even gonna get into the details of that because that's just whatever. And honestly, also they took away certain things. Now you can be slightly like kind of dumber to be you don't have to pass like all the competency tests. They're just like, whatever, you got a finger and some hands, we're throwing you in. So all of that other stuff, remember you couldn't be fat. I think they're taking fat people now. So 42-year-old fat incompetent people are going to be joining pretty soon. We'll see how the war goes after that. Okay, so more troops arrive in the Middle East. Okay. Look, I'm just gonna go over troops to Iran. I'm just going to go over this. The U.S. now has over 50,000 troops in Iran. More 3,500 U.S. troops arrive in the Middle East as Iran strikes intensify. Are we winning this war? I don't know. But as of this weekend, 35 more troops, 43 and under. Well, some of them are already enlisted, so they're older. But arrive. We have the Marines going in, 2,500 Marines there, and then the U.S. On the U.S. Tripoli, and then we have some paratroopers. So the thought is that they might take Kharg Island, whatever, and which is where the oil processing for Iran is, and Iran. Something interesting that they did is that their runways, right, like their where their airports are, they put trucks on their runways, right? Like so, and you do that when you're worried about an invasion. So they're preparing so that your enemies can't land. And I don't know who watches this show. I've been told some people at some of the highest middle level of government watch this show. I will tell you, please, like, I mean, don't do it, right, without consulting me first. Because if I am Iran, if I am on the other side, you have to think about how the enemy is thinking about it, right? And in this case, I'm not even saying I'm part of one or the enemy is the other. I'm saying if you're the United States, Iran's your enemy, you got to think, okay, if we've been telegraphing that we're going to go take over Kharg Island, if I'm Iran, I'm like, hey, look, I'm putting bombs everywhere. Once you guys arrive, okay, great. We're pressing detonator. So you got to be careful with that, right? You can't get set up in a trap. It's just kind of silly. Everybody who's watched the Goonies knows that you booby trap stuff. Pirates have been doing it since Blackbeard. It's the good old booby trap. So that's kind of like, okay, if in case you're out on a date and she's like, hey, have you heard any Iran news lately? Like, yeah, U.S. is sending 3,500 more troops from USS Tripoli to Kharg Island. Well, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Tell me how that goes for you. Okay, another update. There's a lot of Iran and U.S. stuff, and this has just been escalating so far. So now we got more troops, whatever. Now remember, Trump said, "Hey, we have complete air and military supremacy. We have the best planes in the skies, the boats, the submarines. They can't do anything to us in the air." He said that. Okay, so U.S. plane destroyed. Look, I don't even have to finish it. Destruction of vital U.S. radar carrier. It's a what is this called? It's an E3 E3 U.S. Air Force E3. It's a satellite radar plane to tell you where the missiles are. Blue, 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 blue. That looks like a little bit more than just a little damage. So this is one of the U.S.'s top airplanes for surveillance. It's a U.S. Air Force E3 Sentry, and it was on the Saudi Arabia Air Base. Look at that, just here for the pickings. And Iran's drone or missile and unfortunately left certain like 10 people injured, no fatalities. And one thing that I did learn is a casualty in the war is somebody who even gets injured. It's not just somebody who dies. So a fatality is obviously a death. But yo, welcome from Twitch. So yeah, U.S. airplane destroyed, and U.S. is like, no, no, it was just a little. First, the Army said it was just a little damage. They said it was just a little damage. So that you know where your source of truth is, come here and get it, because they were like, just a little bit of a damage, but not much. Okay, well, I think you could duct tape that up. Okay, now Iran has their own damage, right? Like we're not even gonna get into all of the stuff going on with Israel and Iran, because they're blowing each other up pretty good too. All right, but just too much stuff going on. All right, another headline: Spain says no to airspace. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me tell you guys something. For those who don't know, believe me, right? If you look at this map, I want you guys to tell me where Iran is. If you've been watching the show, now you know that's right there. Saudi Arabia, this is right here. This is where the airplane was blown up. United Arab Emirates, Qatar has bowed out. They're like, look, man, we're just so small. Oh, stop it. Yeah, that's the airport that and my producer was like, just be careful with sharing your screen because you don't know, I'm like, whatever. I am grown. Whatever you guys see on this screen is your fault. I am sharing live. I don't know what I've searched before this. It might have been an infatuation. It might have been a curiosity, but we're gonna find out. Now you're gonna see how many times I clicked on it. That's how you really know the person's personality. Is it the same search multiple times, like different wording. But okay, so Qatar is right here, Bahrain is right here. Look how little of a country they are. Honestly, between you, me, and a couple of our buddies, we could probably take over Bahrain. Look how that little country is in this big boys war. I feel bad for them. Qatar's right here. We need a little bit bigger group of people to go take over Qatar. But I'm busy. I'm so busy. I can't go take over another country right now. You guys, tell me if I should. By the way, I'm Angola. This little piece of land. I've been thinking about running for president. Maybe I should run for president of Angola. We'll talk about that. How hard can it be? How hard can it be? What's the ballot situation? But why is that important? Why am I even going over this with you guys? Because Spain is all the way over here, right? Like Spain is over here. Spain doesn't really have much going on. It's next to Portugal, whatever. Not much going on. It's a beautiful place for, you know, just scenic views. But Spain's prime minister says you can't use our airspace. You can't fly over Spain to go military actions. Spain's prime minister has been really hard on the United States and Israel, and they are unequivocally against this war. They called it illegal. I mean, good gusto to him for having the cojones to just tell the United States how they really feel. Applaud Spain for that. So now I think it's more of just a gesture. I don't know what. I mean, the United States may use their airspace to avoid detection, but where the heck is the United States using? Like, there's nothing to fly over Spain with. I mean, unless they're coming from Punta Delgado or something here, or flying out of Portugal, right? Like, okay, then you got to go over to France. The French are neutral. The French are neutral. Look, by the way, France. I know I have a couple French friends. I love you guys. I don't even know when was the last time France really had a good showing on a battle, on a war. The French Revolution, maybe, and that was technically the France losing the war to its people. Like it's like saying who won the Civil War, the United States. Yeah, but they also beat the United States. Well, they beat the Confederate, but whatever. Like France. You guys surprised me. You guys are all weird. Great food, great whatever. Is French food really even good? Is French food really even good? Maybe not even. Pastries. You guys got pastries. but maybe you're too neutral. Like Switzerland, we know Switzerland is neutral. I can't even, where's Switzerland on the map here, guys? Sweden, okay, Switzerland's around here somewhere. But French are like neutral, but they're not neutral. Weird. But so Spain says don't use our airspace for no military attacks on Lebanon or wherever, Iran. Oh God. So the United States, Donald Trump's not gonna like that. Now, all of this, I don't care. We got a couple people watching. Nobody on here can tell me that Russia is not benefiting from this war. All these war freaking hawks. Oh, we gotta stop freaking Iran and whatever. You know who's winning? Russia. And they're here. You guys, this is a little geography map class. Russia's here, Moscow, the capital, is here. Russia has had sanctions on their oil, and you know, and Cuba's here, right? Cuba, who's having rolling blackouts, is here because United States stopped energy from coming from to Cuba. There's a great podcast, not podcast show, about how babies are dying in Cuba because the electrical grid is going out, and there are, when the electrical grid goes out, the generators aren't kicking on fast enough for babies in the ICU. Some of them, purportedly, to get help. So, and why is Cuba not getting oil? Because United States attacked Venezuela, which is here, that used to get oil to Cuba, but now Venezuela, its oil is under the United States. So Cuba's asked Mexico, which is here, to get oil to Cuba. And guess what? The United States said, Mexico, if you send oil to Cuba, we're not gonna, we might Venezuela you too. So Mexico's like, okay, no oil to Cuba. Okay. And Russia now, okay, let's see here. Russia oil to, oh, look, I didn't even got to finish it. I didn't even search it. This is Russia oil. Trump says he has no problem with Russian oil tankers bringing oil to Cuba despite U.S. blockade. Oh no, am I not sharing? Hold on, guys. Trump says he has no problem later. Sorry, you see, no matter how rich you guys think I am, I'm not rich for a paid subscription. Get out of here. Trump says he has no problem with Russian tankers bringing oil to Cuba despite U.S. blockade. Did he say that? Is he saying, okay, you have now permission to bring oil to Cuba? Or is Russia saying, you know what? We're going to bring oil to Cuba either way. Stop us. And guess what? Oh, you can't because all your military ships are on the other side of the freaking world. So now it's like if somebody's going to do something anyways, despite your blockade. So if you're allowing it to come in, it's no longer a blockade. You're not blocking it, right? You're not blocking it, folks. So now Russia, who historically has not sold oil to Cuba that much, and remember, guys, the Cold War culminated with the Cuban blockage, right? The red line, John F. Kennedy, with Russia sending oil and military and blah 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 to Cuba. So this is an interesting 360 where how far we've come. We learn nothing from history, folks. All right. So now Russia is like, oh yeah, this is sweet because we're selling oil all around the world. And now guess where? Okay, let me bring my map up again. Shoot. Where's my Google Maps? Where's my Google Maps? Going back across the frickin' world, right? Your tax dollars are everywhere except for frickin' home. Right now, you guys are getting me started. Serbia. Let me zoom into Serbia. Serbia is here. Serbia is kind of like part of the old Soviet Union. They're trying to get into the EU, right? European Union. They have a pending application. But guess what? They can't do. They could not buy oil from Russia because Russia's oil is sanctioned, right? But that's because nobody is being able to bring oil from here. And I'm going to get into Yemen in a bit. Oh, before I talk about Serbia and Russia, let me connect the two, right? Saudi Arabia, big oil producer. This is the Strait of Hormuz, guys. Remember, Strait of Hormuz right here. If you're following, let me know. If you're not, let me know. I'll go back. I'll explain. Strait of Hormuz is being blocked by Iran. Remember, right here. Strait of Hormuz is being blocked by Iran. And Military, remember the Abraham Lincoln was like right here somewhere, then it backed out. No, I'm sorry, maybe yes, and then the Ford was on the other side. But Saudi Arabia was like, okay, you know what, that's okay, you're blocking here, but there is the Gulf of Aden on this side. You see this little passageway? We're going to sneak our oil, about 80% of it, to here, to the Red Sea. And then we're going to, there's a big pipe. You see this road right here? Like just, that's like kind of a pipeline coming to the Gulf of Aden, Jeddah. There's a great Formula One race here in Jeddah. And now all these countries here can get their oil out of right here, the Gulf of Aden from the Red Sea. You see this little port? It's even smaller than the Strait of Hormuz. Now, what country is right here that controls this? This is called the Bab al Mahmad Strait. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but I'm trying to remember all these things. Yes, Yemen. Yemen is right here. If you never knew where Yemen is, don't worry about it. It's not your problem. This is not. But what group is in freaking Yemen? That's right, the Houthis. Okay, but the Houthis are not involved in this war so far as of my last Houthi strike. TH Houthi strike. Houthis Iran. Let's just go with that. Oil prices rise. Record month surges. Let's see here. Houthis strike. Okay. Okay, so look, as of yesterday, guys, and Yemen's Houthi rebel. This is Al Jazeera. This guy, they all got their military outfits. Um, let me just speed ramp through this. I don't know where. Okay, so this guy, military spokesman for the Houthi rebels, they got their, I don't know what all these stars whatever mean, but these guys have been seeing all this war stuff going on, and they're like, we want to get in the action. And they basically said, we're not going to get in. This is the craziest thing. I love this. They were like, we're not going to get in unless escalations happen, another country gets involved, or it was another thing, right? Like that was on like Friday, right? They're like, but we're not going to get involved unless any of those three things happen. Friday. Saturday, they're like, we're in it. We're going, like, all right, F it. We're in the war now. So they sent some strikes up to Israel. 2 missiles, blah, blah, blah. They both got intercepted, right? So nothing really hit that I can tell, not that we're being reported. But going back to Dom's map, and again, this is my map. Don't let anybody else tell you anything. And I'm just letting y'all know that the fact that it says Google on there doesn't mean anything. It's my map. Going back to Dom's map, the fact that Yemen Houthi rebels are here. This is now what's called the third front, people. When you're talking to the chick and she's like, oh my gosh, like, you're so cute, but something's bothering me. What's bothering you, love? What's about? How many fronts to this war are there in the theater of the Iran-Iraq or Iran-US war? What's the theater of war? Oh, love, there's 3 fronts. There's the Gulf of Aden, the Oman Gulf of Oman, which is by Iran, and then there's Lebanon. You shouldn't be worried about that. I learned that by watching Ask Domnet. So Israel is attacking Lebanon here, right? Boom, Lebanon. That's and that who's out there? That is Hezbollah, right? Boom. They're in a ceasefire allegedly with Gaza here. And who's there? No, the Houthis. Yeah, who's Hamas? Okay, it's a lot of H's. These groups got to start changing their names to. Okay, so Israel's fighting Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, right? Lebanon. Remember, some of their soldiers just got killed by Israel. They're fighting Iran, and now they're fighting Houthis in Yemen. So that's the 3 fronts of the war, people. They're extending themselves, and by they, I mean they're calling the United States to extend themselves. But the problem with this, why did we say all this, is because all this great oil before was coming out of here, but now the Houthis are like, we see what Iran is doing, we're going to close the freaking Gulf of Aden. So Saudi Arabia is now stuck. You see how they're not on the Arabian Sea. They only got these two little things. Most of the world's liquefied natural gas comes out of this area, folks. So guess who else has a lot of liquefied natural gas? Now going back to Russia. That's why Russia's like, oh yeah, we're gonna send oil to Cuba now. We're gonna send oil to, okay, we were talking about Serbia, Russian oil. Serbia, Russia oil. I'm just giving you guys headlines, people. Okay. Serbia, Reuters. Serbia secures gas import deal with Russia. I think it was another 3-year deal. Look at this. I've got to allow these ads so I can share with you guys for this page. Refresh. This is a 3-year deal. I'm not going to get into the names because I'm going to butcher them, but this guy's name is Vucic, right? And obviously that's Putin. Look how tall that guy is compared. Like, do you believe this small guy is like more powerful than this tall guy? That's crazy in the world, right? Like, this guy can destroy this guy, not in physical combat. That's what we need to get back into. If world leaders want conflict, we should just put them in a freaking ring. And whoever comes out, and you can, like, maybe you can pick like 3 of your cabinet members. Like, you and 3 of your cabinet members go against him and 3 of his cabinet. Because Russia has some big guys. So I wouldn't be surprised if Putin has 3 or 4 guys that are about this big. I don't know too much about Serbia, but these guys drink their milk. So maybe that's how we should just be handling it, instead of sending 30, you guys who are 30 or 43 and younger. But yes, so Serbia was about to stop buying freaking Russian gas, but because of all this nonsense, they're excited because now they've worked out a deal for the next 3 years. I think I was reading that it was 3 years, 6 million cubic metric whatever per day. Look more into it, guys. Read into it yourselves. We're coming up on time because there's just so many headlines going on. But Russia is just flowing. You could take this off here, Aaron. Russia just flowing in the money right now because there's so many countries that are buying Russian gas, because all of the 3 fronts of war has stopped the flow of gas, oil, liquefied natural gas. And Russia's like, okay, show me the money. Show me the money. I don't speak Russian, but let me give my best impression to it. I'm actually gonna put so I don't offend anybody. Russian translation. Show me the money. Let's see, what does that mean? Pokazi dinge. That's what show me the money is in Russian. If you speak Russian, and I did that I'm pretty sure I got that 95% right. But let me know. Let me know. Pokavina dinge. Oil. Let me not even figure out what oil is. But that's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. The war is, and Trump, remember, we were supposed to attack 48 hours. You guys have a 48-hour deadline. Iran said, clock is ticking. We waiting for you. 48 hours. We'll be here. Then Trump's like, oh, well, I mean, 5 days. Now that 5 days has gone to 10 days. Guys, I think we have a problem. But that's just me. All right. Let me know what you guys think. Okay. What did this person say? I don't even know. Morning, bro. How you doing? Don. You know, you're supposed to send me a voice note because I don't want to mispronounce your last name. Somebody hyphenate or whatever, how we think I should be pronouncing that. Because I mean, I was a hooked on phonics kid. I wasn't hooked for too long, apparently. It didn't hook me. But I know how to pronounce Don. How you feel, baby? I think I saw you had an interview recently, right? You had an interview somewhere that came across my feed. Okay, so let's get into the housing market, guys. What's the housing market? Do you guys like this format where I just share my screen with y'all? Okay, so let me clear my screen. Give me 1 second, producer. My producer. Shout out to Aaron. Did anything big happen to, with you, Aaron, this weekend? Put it in the notes. Sierra. Okay. Shear, Don Shear. Where'd you get that name? We gotta have you on the show. How'd that come up? I need to know what Don Shear means. Let's throw that up so that the world can see. And then he got a cool logo. I know you was like, oh, you made that logo by yourself? Because my name is obviously starts with a D as well, and that logo looks mighty nice. You'd be mad at me if I start using like a cool logo with a little bit of a different, like yours is yellow, mine is like orange or something. Don't, like, you gonna have to sue me to, because that's a nice little one. Well, I appreciate you tapping in this morning. All the way from the middle of the country there. So speaking of the middle of the country, guys, I ran a report for y'all because I love you guys. Like, I mean, I will tell you right now, it is fun doing all this research for you guys. So at least I don't sound like a complete idiot when I'm talking to y'all. But the housing market, let me just give you guys some. I have so many news articles. That's the only problem. Sometimes by the time I get here. All right, throw it on, Aaron. Am I still sharing? Okay. Um, so no, I'm sorry. I knew I recognized. Okay, so cool. That's a Dreamville. Okay, that's a Dreamville logo. Yeah, they definitely gonna sue me. I don't want no problem with you and the Dreamville crew. I love me some Dreamville action. But yeah. Oh, you know what? That means your label exec J Cole. Let me know. We got, well, let's not have a chat interview, but J Cole did do an interview recently then for Dreamville. I guess his blah 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 about kind of his album strategy. And it's kind of, I don't know what's going on. We might have to tap in to get your thoughts on what's going on in the industry, because there might be something brewing, right? Like Drake dropped. Jay-Z did an interview with like, I think it was GQ. J. Cole did an interview. I saw you doing an interview. What's going on with the other? Is there a collab going on? Is there something going on? So let's figure it out. But let's what's going on with the housing market, right? Like, all right, guys, is it a good time to buy a house right now? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've been telling you guys that. How did I make my money, folks? I'm going to be very clear. I made my money in a little bit, and I don't have a lot of money. I've just been very fortunate, but sometimes I look back and I would have had a lot more money if I just sat down. If I did this and didn't go out and I didn't buy tractors and excavators and blah, 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 I didn't buy my houses and apartment buildings, I would have a little bit more money in my pocket. Even though right now, where's my status? So if you see me greeting people at Walmart, talking about thank you, welcome to Walmart, after hours, just mind your business. Don't ask me no questions. It's just a little bit of cash to get me through. Right? You be like, yo, Dom, I thought you was doing okay. I'm rich with equity, homies. Like, when you see these cups, you've never seen me drink no Starbucks here. I make Starbucks. If you like to sponsor this show or an episode, please let me know. We'd be willing to do it. But I have to look at what your moral principles are and where your standings are. But if they're in line with mine, we love to sponsor. We love to be sponsored. But but this is here just me making my coffee at home. And here's why. I made money, a decent amount. I'm gonna give you guys the playbook. I'm gonna give you guys the playbook. Okay. So I started in college. I really started in college. I started my little tech company, and I'm gonna speed ramp it, right? Because really, this is all for the Ask Dom That All Access community. I'll give you guys the real and tell you guys the details, but some of you guys might work for the IRS. Actually, one of you do work for the IRS. Welcome, love you. So I made some money in college. Just when I say some, just a couple grand. That it wasn't much, right? But doing websites and stuff like that for people, just making simple websites. But that couple grand allowed me to start thinking like, oh, I can multiply this really, right? Like, so I started doing websites, basic applications. I was charging $1,000, $500 for small mom and pops. So I took that money, learn. Then I got into, once I started growing my company a little bit, I took a little bit of that money to invest in a small technology company. But really, I used my skill set to then start working with clients and then charging commercial prices where our goal is to try to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month, right? Like, so I got there. We were probably, but that was growth because I had to start paying employees, paying contractors, blah, blah, blah. So, and that's the company that I still have till this day. Now we charge a little bit more, but the industry changes. So I really work on, we haven't figured out the best way to do it. We do managed services, but we really focus on building applications. And technology consulting all overall. We got into government contract for a bit. So I show people how I've gotten government contract, a couple $1 million worth. But and then I also used my skill set there and understanding the technology and the business, because I understood technology and business. I then got a chance to work with a law firm as a technology director, because layering the technology and engineering side with the business of the firm and all that, and that allowed me to and that allowed me to have a stable income and still really explore more rapid growth, higher risk with my tech company. And you see this a lot when you'll see like any major company, you're gonna see people very familiar names that you're familiar with that work on the board of this company and work on wealthy people. And I'm not wealthy. I will say this. I've been very fortunate to maybe be classified as rich, but not wealthy at all. And rich is, you're just one step away from day to day. I think rich is very subjective. Like when you're wealthy, it, I don't want to say it's not subjective. When you're wealthy, it's like you no longer working for your money. Being rich just means you get paid a lot for what you do. Being wealthy means you get paid a lot for doing nothing. So I'm very fortunate in that regard. But if I stopped working, I would not be rich. I work every day, um, more than every day. So I say that to say, okay, so I got my, but how did I do? What do I want to get out of this? So I started doing okay when I got onto consulting and blah 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 for my tech company, and then the law firm. But that didn't really change my life too much more. I was making decent money, but then I started making real gains to my net worth when I started buying real estate. I did the whole 360 where I did, and then I did other little projects here and there, did the restaurant, I've done tech blogs, but real estate is really what allowed me to start making big chunks of money. Like a couple $100,000 here, a couple $100,000 there. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago where the farm that I have has been appraised for a million plus more than I bought it for 3 years ago. And then I just had a meeting this weekend. Um, and the guy that was there told me that it's actually a couple $1 million. And you know what? Let me tell you guys, let me show you guys something. Farm offered was it like 54 million, 54 million, 54 million. Okay. So farmers reject $54 million offer from Disney to sell their farm next to Disneyland. That's okay. That's that one. But okay, this one's another one. Kentucky mother and daughter turned down $26 million offer to sell their farms to secretive tech giant that wants to build data centers. Um, so there's companies, there's people. So their farm typically sold for $6,000 an acre, and when they rejected the $6,000 an acre, and they're on 71 acres, people. They're on 71 acres. Um, the lady is 82 years old, right? And her daughter is 54. They have 71 acres, and they rejected. At first, it was $6,000 an acre. Now then the company was like, all right, here's $60,000 an acre. Um, and they rejected it. So um a deal where she said turn down the parcel. Now, yeah, so ultimately they went from like offering, here's 10 5 million, 4 million, 6 million. They're offered $26 million. And what I hate about this is this part, right? Like, these people are hardworking farmers, and this secretive company, the secretive company is offering them more money than they know what to do with. And I just hate that. Somebody find me the name of this company. Peace. Please find. We have 400 acres that they could not buy from us at any price. So don't even bother offering me $26 million. Whatever secretive company is out there looking for land and willing to pay just $26 million, we have 400 amazing acres that you cannot offer me any amount of money. But start at 26. I dare you to offer me $26 million for our property. Secretive company. Guys, let's find who this secretive company is and let's write them a letter and maybe give them a brochure of how beautiful our land is and what they could do here. Guys, okay, God, I had to. Woo, okay. So, housing market, guys. So, this might be a good time to buy a house. And here's why. It's always a good time to buy a house. Okay, just take my screen off. We're lost in there, so I can get into it. It's always a good time to buy a house, and here's why. Because the housing market rates are about 6%. They're not going to come down anytime soon. They were supposed to come down. New Fed chair, but with this war going on, it ain't going to happen. So it's going to be at 6%. But there's so many programs that you need to know about that you can buy down your rate. There's the NACA program. If you're a veteran, you can certainly get, I think, even a 0% down payment, whatever, with veteran VA loans. If there's a home ready program, please just know what programs you can buy down your rates, because right now housing prices have slowed down. They've actually only increased by 0.5%. And for those who that doesn't mean anything to, that's the smallest increase. So the prices are still going up, but it's the smallest increase that we've had over the last 5 years or so. And there's way more supplies than there are demand in the market. So people are selling houses more than people are buying houses. Remember, the natural evolution of life is that you will always have people that need to sell houses. Why? Because people are getting older, people are dying, people are getting divorced. There's more circumstances that force people to sell a house than there are circumstances that force me to buy a house. I'll always need housing, but I could rent, right? Like, there's not like, oh my gosh, now I need to effing, like, shucks, I got married, so I need to buy a house. No, like, we got married, so we need to leave our parents' house and go rent our own or go do our own thing. But you don't necessarily always need to buy a house. And that's the inflection point that we're at right now, where there are a lot more sellers in the market than there are buyers. So what do you need to do? You're watching this show, so I'm going to tell you, you got to beat these people up. If you are buying a house, when you talk to your agent, ask them if whoever you're buying it from is 65 years or older. And if they tell you yes, and you can find that out on their tax report too, because they get a tax-free 65-year exemption. If they tell you yes, beat them up on the price and figure out how long they've had the house, right? Like, because whenever you go to Redfin, by the way, if you just go to Redfin, let me go to Redfin. Let me go to Philadelphia. What markets are you guys in? Philadelphia, PA. Okay, so what I would do, the type of houses that I'd look for if I were in your guys' shoes, I'd look for something 250,000. The median home price in America right now is like 375. Don't quote me on that. So let's just go 250, because you never want to buy more than you can afford, right? And I would go, let's say, for sale. Where's more filters? Okay, more filters. I always do multifamily, right? Like, personally, even if I have to create it myself, like with a basement apartment. And that's just so that I can rent something out. So Okay, something like this, right? Like let's just see where this is. 230,000. You see, it doesn't have the bathroom. So whenever I see houses like this that don't have a bathroom on it, or like, just bad listings, poor listings, I love that because guess what? This right here is not even going to show up. A lot of people that are looking for houses say, "Hey, I want 3 bedroom, 2 bath." This wouldn't even show up on their search. So that's good. Investor alert, whatever, 3 story, 3 unit. Great. So now I know that this is a 3 unit. I'm getting it for they want you to pay 2,200, whatever. Or I'm sorry, 230,000 or 229,900. But one thing that whatever, if you guys watch the Ask Domnat Lax's real estate investing course, you'll see this. But really, okay, here's where I want you to know. I just randomly Googled this, guys. I didn't look for this house, right? I didn't. This is me, like just doing it live. When you guys ask me, Dom, how do you make money? I just do this for freaking fun, right? Here's what I'm looking at. This house is listed for 229,000. I apologize. When was it last sold? It was last sold in freaking 2008. Whoever bought it, I don't know whoever bought it, but I can do some more research about who the buyer is. It might be an investor or whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I'm Big Daddy now because you bought this for $72,000. You think I care about what I offer you? You think I don't care if I offer you $100,000 and you go home with 30? I don't care. 28 to be exact. Because take your 28. Hope you made your money on your cash flow. Boop de whoop. So sorry, you're selling in a bad market. Oh, we can't sell it for less than. You don't dictate terms here. I'm the investor. Because guess what, people? A lot of these people, and guys, go watch the real estate course because I show you how you can find these people's information, who their names are. Because if this is why I was saying, if they're 60 years old, they're 65. I'm until 65, 67. They don't want to deal. Let me just go over some pictures here. Right? The house looks like it's vacant for the most part, right? Maybe. I don't know. Not great pictures, but not a lot of pictures, but usually I've seen enough. Yeah, it looks vacant. I've seen enough of these where if it's like people living in there. So they're just paying property tax, maybe a mortgage, whatever. But if I can get each unit to pay me $800, right? Like I don't know how much I could really get off of each unit, but I'd have to do the research. But if I get each unit to pay me $800, maybe $1,000, my mortgage at 230,000 would be $1,500. Yeah, but there's always something's going to be wrong. There's going to be, I don't know if it's like, I'm ready to be rented out or I need to do like this is so what I would do here is, and that's if I put $45,000 down, 20%. But let's work on the freaking price first. I'm like, no, forget you and your freaking asking price of 230,000. What? You guys are the ones that cause these real estate problems, old freaking boomers, Gen Xers. So no, you guys deal with the ramifications. I want to buy this for 180,000, maybe. And if I find, because why? These people are old, so they're just working on leaving their money to their kids anyways. And you think I care about what your kids make? No, I don't. Not my problem. And rates right now, you can get it at 6.25. Let's just get that. So, with the right deal, you can get your mortgage could be at, $1,100, $1,200, rent it out, make a little $2,000 cash flow a month. Possibly. This house doesn't even look that appeasing, though. I will tell you that. That's not great for a house like this. You have to put a lot down. I'm sure we can figure something else out. But yeah, so I'm not even saying that this is a good deal just because the way the layout of the house is, but that's how I approach it. And I just call these people and I'm like, look, take it or leave it. 200, 180,000. And some of them are already older. They're retiring. A lot of times this isn't even them selling. It's their kids whose parents passed away. It's somebody whose uncle. I bought a house from somebody whose uncle was just older, needed to retire, and no longer can manage it. And that person, like, making 100, they don't have an emotional connection to the house. So making 80,000 versus 100,000 doesn't matter. It's just money to them anyway. So just right now, it's a good time to buy a house because there's people selling. There's a lot happening, a lot of instability. People are seeing their stock portfolios plummet. I looked at my stock portfolio, they're plummeting. And if you're in retirement, depending on that, then all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I don't know how long this is going to plummet for. Medicare, Medicaid cuts are coming. So they're like, let me liquidate. Mary, you take this off. Let me liquidate and get some cash on hand. And yes, I wanted 130,000, but I'll take 100, right? And that $30,000 difference, me as an investor, I'll get the difference on that if that's the way I wanted to approach it. This house might have not been a good deal, and that's, you just got to figure out each individual one. So that's that. So let me know if let's see here. Okay, boom. Um, okay, cool. So let's all right, the last part before I let you guys go, because I gotta get to it this morning as well. Welcome everybody. Where are you guys? All right, so let me just show you guys what I got going on. We got everybody from everywhere except for, yeah. So we got some people over on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Don't be weird though. All right, so I bought an Airstream. This is the campground at Thecka Farms. We bought an Airstream. Let me show you guys kind of how it looks. We put it right there by the campfire, whatever. So I have somewhere to stay. Oh no, that's the I bought a little boat and a canoe as well. Um, no, Aaron. So that's my little boat and a canoe. I do need, if you want to come out, if you're in the area, I can get some help with painting the little boat and canoe and put it out on the water. So that's our little lake, our private little lake, 20 something acres. Um, and why don't you share my screen? Boom. So this is some of the photos of the Airstream. Not great, but the inside decent enough. Um, so yeah, we're gonna, like, I wanted, like, to keep that. I got to do a little bit of remodeling still, but yeah, I just wanted to keep it a little bit original, but it's cute, it's quaint. We're almost done our road project. I have a lot of work to do. I know I've been saying I'm almost done for a while now, but we had court. I can't really talk to you guys about that until it's done. But we had court. I've met with the chairman of everybody to make sure that we're all in compliance with our project. So we're a little bit behind. I'm a little disappointed. Take this off. I'm a little bit disappointed that I I'm still working on this project when I would really rather be working on stuff with you guys and planting and the herb garden and this and that. But it is what it is. We're here now, and we can just do whatever we need to do to get it done. But I think over the next 2 weeks we'll be finished this project. I think I'm pretty confident it'll probably just take me 2 more weeks, but we're in spring already, so that's 2 weeks of spring that I'm losing because of administrative nonsense. But the good thing is that between now and then, no matter what happens, I can't thank you enough for sharing this journey with me and this ride with me over. Oh, you know what? Before I even get there, here's one thing I do want to say. Open up my screen, Aaron. Thecka Farms. Check out our website, theckafarms.com, right? One thing that I always talked about with this website, theckafarms.com, this website is not necessarily an indication of where we are. I built this website 3 years ago. When I built it, I put everything that I wanted on here before it even made it to fruition. So I was talking to somebody and I got a little bit of criticism because it's like, oh, you don't have like we have chickens, goats, beef is when it's already done and whatever, but rabbits, quail, lamb. eh, I put that before I even had anything, before I even had the fencing up. But now outside of we do have cows. I just don't have it on this property. I have it on my other property. The only thing I don't have is the quail, but I could get that anytime. So the same thing with the Airstream. I think I had the Airstream on here way before. Let me see if I Airstream way before we got the Airstream or the tent. So sometimes you just have to believe. I can't find it. I got to put it back up when it's ready. But sometimes you just got to believe in yourself, believe in the vision. Not everybody's going to see it. Maybe nobody's going to see it. And you're going to be the only one that really knows what you want to do. And it's not an overnight thing. All right. It's going to be over many nights. And at the end of the day, if you just stay steadfast, you just got to be like really, really harped into a vision and a goal, and then just work towards that. You're gonna learn a lot along the ways, and sometimes you're gonna learn that maybe you were misguided in your approach previously. But please, 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 never give up on what you want to do. This life, this is the only experience in this universe that we know of that you can literally manifest whatever it is that you believe in. There is nothing greater in life than the opportunity to think of something and really believe in it, and then try to go get out and get it with irrelevant to what anybody else says. So, on that note, I really, 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 really do thank you for watching the Ask Dom Nat show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. The fastest 30 today for 55 minutes of your day to make you an overall more informed person. My name is Dominique Pereira, but you might know me as Ask Dom Nat.